Right now, this morning, top White House officials caught in a potential national security breach will tell you how a journalist accidentally gained access to classified war plans. And new developments in the Eichhorn scandal as prosecutors find evidence of deception. The former senator's legal troubles continue to mount.
Plus, we're not as cold as yesterday. However, we're going to still pick up a little breeze as well as a slight chance of PM showers coming in. More about that in just a moment.
This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Tuesday, March 25th. We don't have our space heaters over here, so I'll let you take it away.
Okay, my friend, and away we go. Holding on to some snowfall and some rainfall potentially as we go into this early morning. Most of it is west of the river right now, trying to get down towards Prairie du Chien and eventually down into Dubuque. Actually, later on, though, we could see some of that coming back. So the breeze comes back again as we go into the afternoon. We're also going to see that come back again as we go into the evening hours for some PM showers as well in your forecast. We're taking a look. You can see the mix of rain and snow right out there going towards Prairie du Chien and Dubuque, Iowa. We are right there. Eventually, as we get into the evening, this track is going to move a little bit closer to the east, a little bit up to the north by the Twin Cities, and eventually try to get on over to our region here. But right now, we're holding on to temperatures in the six. I'm trying it right now. 16 to at least 28 degrees. You go all the way down to Winona, and we're also holding on to La Crosse at 17 degrees. Plenty of sunshine comes into the forecast today as we go right into the afternoon. We'll even see that in for Eau Claire as well, but they'll get to mostly cloudy skies to finish the day. More about this coming up for you in just a moment.
All right, Art, sorry about that, and thank you. This morning, members of Congress are demanding answers after a journalist reported he was inadvertently added to a group chat with top U.S. officials discussing highly sensitive military plans. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is slamming the Atlantic Magazine article, even as the National Security Council tells CBS News the messages do seem to be authentic. CBS News' Derek Waller reports.
Lawmakers from both parties are calling for an investigation after that bombshell report claiming top Trump administration officials mistakenly shared plans for an imminent attack on Houthi targets in Yemen on the encrypted messaging app Signal with a journalist.
This is egregious irresponsibility at the very highest levels.
It's a concern, and we're going to look into it.
Monday, The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg published an article claiming he was accidentally added to that 18-person group chat by an account sharing the name of National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. The chat appeared to also include Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
I found it completely improbable that the top national security leadership of the United States would be discussing on a commercial messaging app the possible imminent attack on another country.
The National Security Council later told CBS News a thread included in Goldberg's article appears to be authentic. Still, Hegseth denied it.
So this is the guy that peddles in garbage. Nobody was texting war plans.
President Donald Trump was asked about the report shortly after it was published.
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic.
Later, the White House added that the president continues to have confidence in his national security team and advisor.
And some Republicans are not rushing to demand an investigation. Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana downplayed the threat, calling it inside baseball. Speaker Mike Johnson said he was confident the administration would make sure it doesn't happen again. New this morning, U.S. and Russian officials announcing potential breakthrough in the war in Ukraine. A joint statement released overnight calls for a limited Black Sea ceasefire to protect shipping lanes. This comes as talks continue in Saudi Arabia. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz calling the move a step toward a possible peace deal during Sunday's Face the Nation.
Then we'll talk the line of control, which is the actual front lines, and that gets into the details of verification mechanisms, peacekeeping, freezing the lines where they are. We're closer to peace than we ever have been.
Russian and Ukrainian officials are still not speaking directly to one another. The fight over the president's use of a wartime power to deport alleged Venezuelan gang members played out in an appeals court yesterday. One of the three appeals judges ripped the administration, saying Nazis during World War II were treated better than the group of Venezuelan migrants sent to an El Salvador prison earlier this month. The president's border czar later calling those comments disgusting. The court's decision is expected in the coming days. Democrats packed UWL Student Union to fight for Medicaid's future. La Crosse area Democrats and nonprofit Citizen Action hosted the town hall last night. Attendees shared personal stories about Medicaid's importance in their lives. The meeting follows congressional Republicans' budget plan that would cut $880 million from the committee overseeing Medicaid.
I think by bringing people together to demonstrate, listen, here's how this is happening, to your neighbors, we can see it within ourselves. And that's really important. That's how you begin to build the foundations of the solidarity, which can force the changes that we need.
Federal government covers 60% of Wisconsin's $11 billion Medicaid budget, so even a 10% federal slash would force the state to either make up the difference or make serious cuts to their own budget. Childcare costs could rise for families without Governor Evers' budget plan, he says. He visited Chippewa Falls yesterday as part of his statewide budget tour. He's proposing $480 million to continue the Child Care Counts program. That program helps providers offer more services while keeping prices lower for parents. The governor says this funding must continue in the next state budget.
We have to understand that, our kids are our future. And if we don't invest in them, it's going to be a bad deal for Wisconsin.
Program's current funding runs out in June. Governor Evers used FEMA money after Republicans rejected his $340 million proposal in the last budget. Brad Schimmel picking up another endorsement in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Former Green Bay Packers quarterback Brett Favre throwing his support behind Schimmel and urging Wisconsin residents to get out and vote. Campaign spending skyrockets to $90 million in Wisconsin's Supreme Court race. That is nearly double the previous record, according to WisPolitics. Susan Crawford's campaign has spent twice as much on advertising as Schimmel, about $33 million combined. But outside group spending, including from Elon Musk, heavily favors Schimmel, giving him the overall financial advantage. Early voting will continue today. La Crosse voters can cast your ballots at City Hall from 8:30 to 4. Eau Claire residents can do so from 9 to 4. Early voting continues through Friday with the election next Tuesday. Federal prosecutors are revealing new information about the former state senator accused of trying to solicit sex from a teenager. According to new court documents, Justin Eichhorn allegedly lied about owning a gun. As Jonah Kaplan reports, investigators accuse Eichhorn of also trying to cover his tracks.
When Eichhorn appeared in court last week, he told a federal judge he didn't own a gun. The next morning, the FBI obtained a search warrant for Eichhorn's St. Paul apartment, and look what they found. This red bag sitting on the counter, and inside, a handgun and ammo, $1,000 cash, a laptop, and another iPhone, a phone that agents say had already been wiped. The agents then found clues in the recorded calls Eichhorn made from jail. The person on the other end of the call tells Eichhorn, quote, "Apartment stuff is taken care of, just so you know." The former state senator was supposed to be released to a halfway house as early as Tuesday. Prosecutors now want him behind bars indefinitely.
But I don't give a crap what occupation you have. If you come here and mess with kids, you're going to jail.
Also on Monday, the Bloomington police chief revealing Justin Eichhorn was only one of more than a dozen men arrested as part of what he called Operation I Can't Help Myself.
For me, it's always going to be about victims.
Most of those arrested have been charged, many, like Justin Eichhorn, by the feds.
Eichhorn is due in court later this week for a preliminary hearing. His wife filed for divorce yesterday. A man pleads not guilty in a Northside shooting. 38-year-old Tyler Yogmus allegedly held a victim outside our corner bar last year. Police say Ryder Ott then threatened the victim with a knife and gun before shooting them. Judge Scott Horn found probable cause, binding Yogmus over for trial. He returns to court April 25th. A Sparta man will spend 10 years in prison for sexually assaulting a 10-year-old. 39-year-old Oscar Fabian will also have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. The woman accused of taking $13,000 from a school booster club will have her initial appearance in court this morning. 52-year-old Christina Foley allegedly stole funds from the Pirate Booster Club, where she formerly served as treasurer. According to the criminal complaint, she wrote 4 checks, 3 made out to cash, 1 to herself. Her appearance is set for 1:15 today. Toma Police Chief Scott Holm is retiring. The news broke on Facebook. The Post said he's taking a job in the private sector. Holm started at the Toma PD in 1999. He's been chief since 2021. His last day is April 18th. La Crosse County program is offering hope to homeless families with children. Family Keys connects vulnerable families to stable housing. The program specifically targets families involved with children protective services who lack secure housing. Support is tailored to each family's specific needs that can include rental assistance or placement in available housing units.
The kids are happier, the parents are happier. If they were fighting prior to working with the program, there's less fighting, there's more, because there's just more support.
La Crosse is one of just 3 counties statewide the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families selected to pilot Family Keys. The time now is 6:12. Still ahead on your morning news. Wisconsin ranks in the bottom 10 for tax return averages. Incoming tariffs are impacting local auto shops, and the U.S. risks a default by July.
The Italian Alps will host the 2026 Winter Olympics, but climate change is affecting how much snow is falling here. I'm Wendy Gillette with the impact on ski resorts and hotels in the region.
And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Good news for the eastern monarch butterfly. Its population nearly doubled. A new report from central Mexico, where these butterflies spend their winters, shows they covered nearly 4.5 acres of forest. Scientists credit better weather conditions in 2024 with less severe drought along the monarch's migration route from the U.S. and Canada to Mexico. And as you start to wake up, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city home to the longest bridge fountain in the world. That is Seoul, South Korea. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming up.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
There's been a lot of talk about this Supreme Court race, but here's what's really at stake. Brad Schimmel wants to make sure women don't have the right to make their own health care decisions. If he wins, that right is gone. I'm Susan Crawford, a former prosecutor, a common sense judge, and a mom. And I trust women to make their own health care decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will. And that's why I'm asking for your vote.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger. You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Out-of-state special interests are trying to buy a Supreme Court seat for Susan Crawford. Why? Because Crawford supports their radical agenda, and I'm not okay with any of it. Let transitioning male teachers use my girls' bathrooms at school, allow boys to compete against them in sports, giving puberty-blocking drugs to children without parents' consent. That's who Susan Crawford sides with, and I'm not okay with any of it.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Well, good morning to you and happy Tuesday. Getting into it today, we'll hold on to some sunny skies going through the morning hours and get to partly cloudy skies to finish your day here locally. Areas in Upper Eau Claire may see at least mostly cloudy skies to finish out the afternoon, getting to temperatures from at least 43 to about, say, 53 degrees out there. We're also seeing a little bit of breeze coming in the afternoon hours, extending out to the early evening commute. We've got that sunshine, as I mentioned, 51 degrees possibly by the time we get into the evening hours, but we're looking at a high possibly of about 50 degrees for us. We'll get into Eau Claire. You've got the sunshine, you've got the cloud cover coming in the latter portion of the morning into the afternoon, looking at mostly cloudy skies for you. And then eventually back down to 5 o'clock, you're looking at partly cloudy skies, but increasing the clouds again as we go back into the slight chance of some showers working into the area. We'll go into what's going to happen. We know we're going to see seasonal or near seasonal temperatures today. PM snow showers every hour. It looks a little bit on the poorer side for us to get that on the ground here locally, or at least in our area. Wednesday, we have a slight chance of showers, and Thursday, well, we may have a shower or two kind of scooting into the area. It's a light chance, but we're also going to see temperatures getting to be a little bit on the warmer side. The sun's coming up, but Alaska's looking pretty good out there right now. 27 degrees out there. It only feels like it's 26. You go back over to areas right by Menominee. If it does pop up here, you can see sometimes it comes and goes, but we're looking at 28 degrees out there. Holding on to that wind coming back again. You can see that continuing to pick up as we go into the 2 o'clock hour. Winds start to pick up, and then eventually they're going to turn over to the west and eventually start to get a little bit on the slower side. You've got Tuesday, shower potential. You can see it coming in, and it brushes us. It was earlier over on top of us over in La Crosse, but right now it looks like it's not going to happen. But that's a look at your forecast. More about that coming up in just a moment when I return.
In your morning consumer news, your wallet could take another hit if you're a taxpayer in Wisconsin or Minnesota. New analysis ranks both states among the bottom 10 nationwide for tax refunds. LendingTree's study found Wisconsin's average refund is $3,500. That's $800 below the national average. Minnesota's just slightly higher at $3,600. Meanwhile, Wyoming leads the nation with those refunds averaging $6,300 for the 5th consecutive year. In just days, it could cost you a lot more to repair your car. That's because President Trump's 25% tariff on imported vehicle parts is set to start April 2nd. That means you could start paying more for auto repair and services. Car owners can expect to pay more for essential parts like brake pads and rotors. Most of those are produced in China, Mexico, and Europe.
They're going to have to realize some of these increases in prices right away because of the production cost of vehicles. And if the production costs of vehicles go up, just as I was reading as well, insurance costs are going to go up because the replacement costs continue to get higher on those vehicles.
The tariffs will likely also affect rentals. Rental car prices that cost $50 a day could go up to $75. By mid-July, the United States may not be able to pay its bills on time unless Congress acts on the debt ceiling. The strength of the economy, new revenue from tariffs, and changes in spending by Congress could all have an impact. The U.S. hit its roughly $36 trillion debt limit January 21st, which forced the Treasury Department to use accounting maneuvers and the cash it has on hand to pay the government's bills to avoid a first-ever default. Scientists say climate change is affecting winters around the world, including the Alps in Europe. Studies find mountain towns there are warming, and overall there's less snow. Wendy Gillette reports from the Alps on how the changes are affecting tourism.
Bernie Simon leads snowshoe tours in the mountains around the quaint village of Andermatt, Switzerland, south of Zurich.
Since the early 80s, I've seen less snowfall and later start of winters. And of course, it is overall warmer during the winter.
It means Simon often heads to higher elevations to ensure snow is coating the ground as trains glide past. Andermatt is exploding with development that's dependent on a robust winter sports season, anchored by the Chetty Hotel, which has fireplaces in every room, a 25,000 square foot spa, 2-star Michelin dining at the Japanese, and ski butler service to rent gear as a DJ spins sets. At the end of every season, the ski resort above the town lays white fleece blankets on top of a glacier near a main gondola to help preserve it through the summer.
If it's not hot or if it's cloudy a lot in the summertime, it actually prevents it from melting or even leads it to growing a little.
There's also concern in the Italian Alps. The Dolomites will host the Olympics next winter, and snow here has been in short supply in recent years.
In the city of Bolzano, the gateway to the Dolomites, URAC Research runs climate experiments simulating extreme environments. Research shows in this South Tyrol region, the annual mean temperature has increased 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit since 1980. And across the Alps, snowfall has decreased 34% between 1920 and 2020.
It's different, not so much the amount of rain or snow that is falling, but what is different is when it falls and how it falls.
Ski resorts in the Dolomites have invested in state-of-the-art snowmaking systems, keeping family-owned hotels like La Perla in the village of Corvara in business.
When I was a kid, it was snowing at the end of November till the end of April. These times are past.
The hotel, one of those we stayed for a special rate, evokes the past with local traditions, including staff outfits, candlelight dinners, and wood-paneled rooms with views, but with modern touches like an upgraded spa to embrace a new kind of future.
That was a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got a look at our weather.
I can't resist, Alexandra. The hills are very dry due to global warming. As you get into it here, we're looking at 40s and 50s for the forecast today. Near average temperatures with partly cloudy skies on the way, but we're going to start you off with a little sunshine first, then get to partly cloudy skies. Eau Claire, as I mentioned earlier, could get up to mostly cloudy conditions to finish out the afternoon, getting into increasing clouds as well. We have that threat of a little bit of light shower trying to get into the forecast, but it doesn't look like it's going to head our way, but we're looking at temperatures on the increase as we go through the next few days. Yeah, that's a 70-degree temperature as we get into Friday. Hey, how about this, though? We'll also see the rainfall slowly but surely starting to pick up as well as that edges into the weekend with some weekend showers and some snow working in the forecast. How about this, though? We'll go through sunrise with temperatures in the 20s and 30s. Then we get into the 11 o'clock hour, 30s still holding on with some low 40s down to the south. We'll pick up some extra clouds coming back into the evening hours. I told you we're going to increase those clouds. We'll get to partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies as we finish out the day. Those showers, you just saw them kind of scoot on by, most of which were on the west side of the river. We'll also hold on to, again, the possibility of some clouds coming back again in the overnight going into the morning for tomorrow. As we get into the afternoon, though, limited cloud cover. We'll call it partly cloudy skies, but you see the clouds are going to try to start to increase with snow working up along the northern tier north of Wausau, and that continues on with increasing clouds going into the overnight with rainfall possibilities coming back again for Minneapolis and then trying to get across the river here locally. How about this, though? Wednesday, this is what I've got going on for you. Temperatures in the 50s. We've got some 60s in there, maybe kind of shy of that, maybe a couple of degrees shy. We'll see how that plays out, but we're also looking at the long range. Friday, we pick up a little bit of rainfall in the forecast to start. Then it turns into snow as we get into the evening hours. Yeah, that stays well up to the north. You can see north of Eau Claire. Rainfall still stays for us down to the south here. And then we pick up a mix of rain and snow again on Saturday at the nighttime hours, going into the overtime hours of I-94, trying to stretch back down to Eau Claire, kind of brush them, but we get back into drier conditions. Then rainfall comes back again to follow suit. More snow takes over that as you go down to the southern portion of our region. Then eventually that scoots on out. We get into Monday and the Tuesday. Yeah, we see maybe a little light rainfall on the way for Tuesday. For right now, that backs up. We'll go into the next few days as we finish out holding on to the possibilities of this. A gradual warm up going into the end of the work week. Then we get temperatures to drop back down. 80% chances of rainfall and snow will do that for you as you get into 50% chance on Sunday. And then Monday and Tuesday, we have a 30 to 20% chance of anything hitting the ground. Be safe out there. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Art. Coming up, a remarkable medical breakthrough gives new hope to a man facing a deteriorating skull. How 3D printing created the perfect puzzle piece to save his life.
Coming up in sports, hear from the Wisconsin hero who helped Badger women's hockey win another national championship. Plus, the head coaching roller coaster has taken over college basketball. See who the Minnesota Gophers got coming up in the Morning Blitz.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
This is our home.
Family and Children's Center has been supporting families in La Crosse and Winona for over 140 years. As time has gone by, we've expanded our services to include abuse prevention, mental health treatment, and so much more. Visit fcconline.org to see how our nearly 30 programs are strengthening communities throughout western Wisconsin and southeastern Minnesota. Better tomorrows start with us.
The new Nacho Taco Bravo from Taco John's. Our famous beef crispy taco wrapped in a soft tortilla, all held together by refried beans and warm nacho cheese. This is Nacho Average Taco. Get 2 for just $6 only at Taco John's.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
Out-of-state special interests are trying to buy a Supreme Court seat for Susan Crawford. Why? Because Crawford supports their radical agenda, and I'm not okay with any of it. Let transitioning male teachers use my girls' bathrooms at school, allow boys to compete against them in sports, giving puberty-blocking drugs to children without parents' consent. That's who Susan Crawford sides with, and I'm not okay with any of it.
Nick Swardson.
Yeah, if you want a relaxing experience, get a massage at the airport. What a treat. The guy's like, all right, just breathe. Flight 403 to JFK! Leaving now, let's go! Just breathe. Gate 24, missing child! You're in the rainforest.
Live on tour, Nick Swardson, Toilet Head, Friday, May 2nd at Ho Chunk Gaming, Black River Falls. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Nick Swardson.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
News 8 Now, Sports.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Over the weekend, the Wisconsin women's hockey team earned their 8th national championship, taking down Ohio State 4-3 in overtime. The game was a rematch from the last 2 national championships. Badgers won 2 years ago, Buckeyes last year, and Ohio State dominating early in this one. 10 seconds into the second period, and Emma Pichel sends a rocket into the net, and the Badgers were in trouble. Down 2, but not out. Wisconsin would fight back. Kirsten Sims finds Caroline Harvey, who shoots and scores. That made it a 1-score game. Then 18 seconds to go in the third period, and Ohio State covers the puck in the crease, so that means Sims taking a penalty shot, breaks the ankles of the goalie, and sends this game into overtime. In OT, Badgers on the attack, and guess who? It's Sims on the rebound. Badgers get the win, and Sims is a hero.
I was super nervous going into that moment, obviously, but they all calmed me down and remind me to just be confident in what I do and what I decide to do, and then it ended up working out for us. Everything comes from him, and he's such an incredible coach, and he proves it time and time again, and I think this season has been truly an incredible one, so it's just an honor to get to play under him and have such an incredible year.
Sims referring to her head coach, the legendary Mark Johnson. He was named Coach of the Year prior to the Frozen Four as the Badger women finished the year 38-1-2, winning their 4th national championship in the last 6 seasons. We're down to just 16 teams in the NCAA men's basketball tournament, which means the head coaching roller coaster has taken off, and it made a stop in Minneapolis yesterday as the Golden Gophers have hired Niko Medved. Now, Medved's season just got over the weekend as Colorado State fell to Maryland on a last-second shot in the second round. Medved has been at Colorado State for 7 seasons, but he's a Minnesota native and was a former assistant coach at Minnesota back in the 06-07 season. He led Colorado State to a 26-10 record this year and will take over a Minnesota program that's made the NCAA tournament just twice in the last 10 years. A quick reminder, Brewer baseball back this week. Opening day set for Thursday. Milwaukee will start the season on the road, taking on the New York Yankees at 2 p.m. start time on ESPN. Now, there are many different projections and predictions out there, but Fangraphs projects the Brewers to finish the year a balanced 81-81, finishing second in the division to the Cubs. We'll also have the Brewers home opener broadcasted right here on WKBT on Monday afternoon. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
When you have a drain backup, you need help fast. From slow drains to clogged mains, we solve it all. Maxwell White has been solving sewer, septic, and drain issues in the La Crosse Coulee region for more than 30 years. Fast, reliable, and professional. Call or book online today.
A 5-year-old girl violated. The predator faced up to 60 years behind bars. Radical Susan Crawford sided with him, released on a $500 bond, and lived across from a school. His sentence, just 4 years in prison. Now he's free, all because Susan Crawford and her warped, soft-on-crime agenda. Catch and release Crawford. Don't take the risk. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The camper. It has been a reliable companion for your family's good times. But after years of use, it is showing some wear and tear. A broken window from an errant baseball, a couch that your dog allegedly chewed on, and an AC unit that doesn't work like it should. It's time to call Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. We have been improving your family's camper since 1970. Call us today and we will make your camper feel brand new. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. Repair, refinish, remarkable.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 715-469-6907. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 715-469-6907. Again, that's 715-469-6907.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or get over $5,300 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Slow or clogged sink, toilet, or main drain? Maxwell White can help. Ask about our $99 mainline drain opening special. Includes a free camera inspection. Address the root problem now to avoid costly repairs or future damage. Call or book online today.
First warn weather on News 8 Now. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In your morning medical news, a 3D printer helped save the life of a New Jersey man whose skull was crumbling. As Zinnia Maldonado reports, the Navy veteran hopes others can benefit from his battle.
After 3 brain surgeries, 63-year-old Greg Morrison received not so great news.
My skull that they had put back was starting to deteriorate.
As part of his skull was caving in, his neurosurgeon, Dr. Nitish Patel of Jersey Shore University Medical Center, got to work. His team was able to construct a 3D model of Morrison's skull and then a replacement piece for the decaying fragment, thanks to a 3D printer.
We can take a CAT scan, replicates Greg's anatomy in 3D, take that, identify the defect of what's missing, print out a perfect puzzle piece.
Morrison, an engineer and Navy vet, first suffered a brain bleed 2 years ago, which required 2 surgeries and then a third when a brain tumor was discovered.
Very few patients can go through what he went through and come out looking this good.
What was the biggest challenge you faced when performing this type of surgery?
The challenge, of course, is timing. In Greg's case, not only were we able to beat the time factor, but we were also able to modify the anatomy.
After his final surgery in November, the Jersey Shore native has since fully recovered and is back at work. By his side, George, the original replica of his skull.
I truly want people, no matter how challenging the obstacle is, to know there's hope.
Morrison hopes his story serves as inspiration for those battling a fight that seems impossible to win.
Happening today, free diabetes screenings available at La Crosse's Hy-Vee, part of Diabetes Alert Day. The Lions Club is offering the screenings to help identify undiagnosed cases. The CDC estimates 11% of Americans have diabetes and 8.7 million don't know they have it. The event today running from 9 to 4. Anyone 18 or up can attend. Walk-ins are welcome. Wisconsin is seeing record population growth, all thanks to migration. The U.S. Census Bureau estimates the Badger State grew by 30,000 in 2024. Migration made up for natural population loss in 29 counties where deaths outpaced births. Roughly 6,000 people moved to Wisconsin from out of state, with about 22,000 from abroad. A total of 356 people migrated to La Crosse County last year. A Winona County family is one step closer to living in their brand new home. A groundbreaking ceremony was held yesterday for the Jones family. Their new 2-story, 4-bed house is being built by Habitat for Humanity. The affordable housing shortage in Winona is something Habitat says they're happy to help the family overcome.
Really looking forward to partnering with her and ensuring that her whole family gets to experience safety and stability in their new home. And we're really excited to see her kids have a yard and to put down roots that they can celebrate for the rest of their lives.
Roughly 200 hours of volunteer time will be put toward the build by some members of the Jones family. It's expected to be complete by next summer. Now we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got a look at our morning commute.
All right, thanks, Alexandra. As we go into your forecast, once again, we're taking the kids to school this early morning. Plenty of sunshine to start with, a quiet morning, not as cold, holding on to 29 degrees. Looking at the way home, though, you're going to have a little breeze kicking into the forecast as we go into it. 50 degrees looking for La Crosse today. Gusty conditions for some. We'll go right over to Eau Claire, though. What's going to happen for you? Well, you have at least 29 degrees as well. You're holding on to a quiet morning, holding on to at least 49 degrees getting into it. Sorry about that. Gusty's kind of messed up there, but you're looking at some gusty conditions for some of those folks out there and about. You're having the skies to be at least sunny and getting into some partly cloudy skies for La Crosse as we go into the 4 o'clock hour. Eventually, we'll also see this coming in for Eau Claire, but they're going to go into at least partly to mostly cloudy skies into the afternoon, and eventually you're holding on to conditions to be a little bit more so on the side of 49 degrees or so, finishing out around, say, 43 degrees. We take a quick peek here what I've got going on for you for Tuesday. You're looking at temperatures in the, well, we'll call it low 40s to around the low 50s with clouds on the increase later on in the afternoon. As we finish out, you're going to see near seasonal temperatures today. Slight chance of showers for tonight and tomorrow. As we get into Thursday, you're looking at clouds increasing, but yeah, we're going to be on the warmer side. Get out and enjoy it if you can.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Wrigley is turning 8 months. Wrigley loves to run around and play and spend time with family.
If you know a special someone turning one of the 8s, we would love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button on the Home tab.
After the break, how you can rock out to Tom Petty hits while fighting crime in Monroe County. That's coming up.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
It's tournament time at Osseo Automotive, and the savings are giant. And so is the selection.
Get giant discounts on in-stock trucks and SUVs, like over $8,000 off a 2024 Silverado 2500 HD High Country, or $11,000 off a 2024 Silverado Crew, or over $3,500 off a 2025 Equinox LT.
You'll never see anything this big again. Giant tournament sales going on now at Osseo Ford, Nels Gunderson Chevrolet, Fountain City Ford, and Rudy's in Whitehall.
Celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain, Wednesday, March 26th at the Viterbo University Fine Arts Center. They're still thrilling audiences with their offbeat humor and four-string virtuosity. Experience multiple musical genres, from ABBA to ZZ Top to bluegrass to Broadway, all played on the bonsai guitar. Order tickets at 608-796-3100 or online at ViterboFineArtsCenter.com.
No matter where I seat my guests, they seem to like the kitchen best. A kitchen's the heart of the home. It should be warm and welcoming. It should be attractive and functional. But it can be a real challenge unless unless you come here where you can meet with a designer, find all of the products that you need, and trust the project to our carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. For kitchens, bathrooms, and other home improvements, put your trust in the Board Store Home Improvements. Contact us today.
A 5-year-old girl violated. The predator faced up to 60 years behind bars. Radical Susan Crawford sided with him, released on a $500 bond, and lived across from a school. His sentence, just 4 years in prison. Now he's free, all because Susan Crawford and her warped, soft-on-crime agenda. Catch and release Crawford. Don't take the risk. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Okay, hold on. I don't think it's gonna pivot anymore.
Just like pivoting from heating to cooling season, it's a difficult adjustment. Pivot in the summer, called GNT.
Pivot! Shut up!
Called GNT. For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions, with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Hi, well, good morning. Welcome back here as we get into today. This is what I've got going on for you. Tuesday, holding on to 40s, some 50s in the forecast. Sunshine to start. Then we get into increasing the clouds to partly cloudy skies for La Crosse. Then we get into Eau Claire. They're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Other locations will follow suit as we go right through the daytime. Right into the 7 o'clock hour, you're seeing temperatures still in the 20s and the low 30s as we go into sunrise. And eventually by the 11 o'clock hour, you've got a little bit of clouds still holding on up to the north and then down to the south. You can see by Decorah as well as Prairie du Chien. We'll get out of that with a little light moisture coming back in as we go into the 4 o'clock hour. You can see that trying to cross the river, but it kind of falls shy of us. Pretty much stays on the other side of the river to the west, and eventually we're picking up again the possibility of a light snow dusting coming in from between Boscobel and Madison. That's something else, but temperatures are in the 30s and the 20s as well. We'll go into the 7 o'clock hour for sunrise for tomorrow. You're looking at temperatures from 27 to at least 31 degrees, so fairly similar conditions. However, what's going to happen? Well, we get into the afternoon, we're looking at temperatures from 41 to about, say, 47 degrees, and eventually we'll see some of those clouds start to pick up as we go into the afternoon again. We'll load up those clouds, getting to partly to mostly cloudy skies to finish out, getting into rainfall, trying to get in for Thursday early morning coming in from Minneapolis. Now, we'll hold on to the zones. Zones are looking at everybody in the sunshine today in the low 50s. As you go from the central zone down to the south zone, you're holding up to at least temperatures around, say, 53 to about 52, 49 degrees in there as well mixed in. We'll hold on to more of that central zone temperature for 52 for La Crosse. We'll go up to 51 as you get into Blair with mostly sunny skies up there. How about this though for the north zone? You've got Prairie, I should say, Everest by Ladysmith at 47 degrees, and over in Eau Claire you're looking at 49 degrees for your high. Wednesday we've got a little bit extra wind coming in as well. We'll hold on to conditions to be like that, but we'll even see temperatures to bump up a little bit to mostly 40s and 50s again. We'll hold on to some rainfall coming in for Friday. Then by Friday night we turn this into rain and snow up to the north. Eau Claire gets into a little bit of rainfall, but some of that may get a little bit closer to as we go into the early morning on Saturday. Then eventually we're going right back into how this all shakes up, going into some more of that rain and snow mix coming in for Sunday, going into Monday, and eventually we kind of miss that out of the way and we kind of back off of that. How about this though, as we go into the next few days, I've got temperatures running into increasing conditions as we go right into the, the temperatures there going into the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Then we get back into some snow and rainfall coming back into the forecast where temperatures go back down to the 50s and the 40s. That's how it all plays out. Be safe out there.
All right, Art, thank you. Well, new this weekend, crime fighters need your help. Next weekend, the Monroe County Crime Stoppers benefit concert features the Petty Kings. Joining us now is some organizers to tell us a little bit more about that. Good morning, ladies. Nice to see you. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Good morning.
So what should we know about this upcoming benefit concert?
This is our annual fundraiser. Monroe County Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. So this year the concert is called Petty Kings. It's a tribute concert to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It will be Friday, April 4th at the Toma High School Auditorium. And the doors open at 6 p.m. and then the concert starts at 7 p.m.
Okay, great. We've got the flyer up there on the screen, so if our viewers want to take a look at that, they can get some more information.
That's pretty cool. How can we get tickets?
Tickets are available at the door, so just show up.
Okay, great. So no need to pre-register or do anything like that.
No.
Just show up. Okay. And then how will the funds benefit Crime Stoppers?
Well, we use the funds for multiple different things. So we have a platform online called P3 Tips, and that's how people can submit their tips anonymously to the Crime Stoppers. And so we pay an annual fee for that. So funds go for that. Funds are also used when we have a tip come in that leads to an arrest or a significant break in a case. Then we can pay out rewards with those for the tipsters with some of the money that we get from funds like these.
So what exactly does the Monroe County Crime Stoppers do? What do you
Well, it's Monroe County Crime Stoppers. It's an engagement program to work with law enforcement to help solve crimes within the community. And, you know, law enforcement, they recover stolen goods. They are able to seize illegal drugs in the community. So just solving crimes in general.
Okay, a lot of important work there. Yeah, for sure. And then you mentioned that there's the tip line. So how can people report tips? And these are anonymous when it is to Crime Stoppers, correct?
Correct. So the big thing with Crime Stoppers is that your call won't be traced. You submit your tip under an anonymous tip number, so it's never traced back to you. Your name will never be asked for. So you can either submit tips online. If you want to go to P3 Tips, there's actually an app you can download to submit tips. You could go to our website, monroecountycrimestoppers.org, and there's links there to submit the tips. You could also call 269 or 608-269-STOP. And that will get you to a person on the phone if you don't feel like doing the online thing. And that person will just put it into the online system for you. But again, the reason for Crime Stoppers is that it is completely anonymous, so you never have to be tracked back to that information. They will reach out to you if they want more information through the tip line, but it's never going to be connected to your phone number or your name or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, an important organization for sure. And before we go, so next Friday is this event. Anything else that people should know? We know obviously there'll be music, dancing, anything else people should know before they head out?
Oh, it's a great time. People really enjoy it.
Okay, prepare to have a good time.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, well, ladies, thank you so much for being here this morning to let us know.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We're back right after this.
Tony Nicopol, coming up on CBS Mornings, the new National Medal of Honor Museum is reopening old wounds for one family. I'll talk with the sister of an Air Force hero who feels her brother's legacy is being overshadowed again, this time in the new museum. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
During the spring savings event at PM Sleep Center, you'll save up to $400 on the Beauty Rest Black Collection. It's for a limited time, so shop for the best selection only at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Growing up in Chippewa Falls, we had some tough times. My little sister was born with special needs, so I became her protector. And when my dad was laid off, we all had to step up. Along the way, I learned a lot about hard work, common sense, and most of all, what it means to look out for people. I'm Susan Crawford, and looking out for people is why I became a prosecutor and a judge. And I'm asking for your vote.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin, family-owned, turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
If you want them to be safe, don't vote for him. When this man sexually assaulted a 10-year-old girl, Brad Schimmel let him off easy, calling it a one-time thing. When this man was caught with child porn, Schimmel gave him a plea deal after the man's lawyer gave Schimmel $5 grand. And when this man sexually assaulted 2 underage girls, Schimmel blamed the girls. Brad Schimmel won't protect your kids, but you can with your vote.
Save some green with PM Sleep Center's March mattress sale. Over 15 queen mattresses, $5.99 or less. Queen pillow top mattresses start at $3.99. Twin mattresses start at $159. Stop in soon at PM Sleep Center, giving lacrosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
Welcome back at 6:52. Time for your morning news now. A man pleads not guilty in a North Side shooting. 38-year-old Tyler Yogmus allegedly held a victim outside our corner bar last year. Police say Ryder-Ott then threatened the victim with a knife and gun before shooting them. The judge found probable cause, binding Yogmus over for trial. He'll be back in court next month. Top Trump officials texted war plans for upcoming military strikes in Yemen to an encrypted but unsecured group chat that a journalist was also in. The editor-in-chief for The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg, published a story about the security breach yesterday. Top Democrats calling for an investigation into why a highly sensitive conversation took place on a commercially available messaging app. New this morning, U.S. and Russian officials announced potential breakthrough in the war in Ukraine. A joint statement released overnight calls for a limited Black Sea ceasefire to protect shipping lanes. This comes as talks continue in Saudi Arabia. The National Security Advisor called the move a step toward possible peace during Sunday's Face the Nation.
Then we'll talk the line of control, which is the actual front lines, and that gets into the details of verification mechanisms, peacekeeping, freezing the lines where they are. We're closer to peace than we ever have been.
Russian and Ukrainian officials still not speaking directly with one another. An appeals court is weighing whether to overturn a lower court ruling that stops the Trump administration from using a wartime law to deport Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador. One judge said even Nazis in the U.S. during World War II received better treatment. The appeals court appears divided but did not issue a ruling yesterday. Former Green Bay Packers quarterback Brett Favre throwing his support behind Brad Schimmel and urging Wisconsin residents to get out and vote. And the Supreme Court race hitting $90 million, nearly double the previous record. Susan Crawford's campaign outspending Schimmel 2-1 on advertising, but outside groups have poured significant money into supporting Schimmel. Early voting continues today. La Crosse voters can cast your ballots at City Hall from 8:30 to 4. Eau Claire residents from 9 to 4. Early voting continues all week. Election day is next Tuesday. Governor Evers made a stop in Chippewa Falls yesterday, pushing for $480 million to continue the Child Care Counts program that helps providers expand services while keeping costs lower for families.
We have to understand that, our kids are our future, and if we don't invest in them, it's going to be a bad deal for Wisconsin.
The program's current funding runs out in June. The Cross County program offers hope to homeless families with children. Family Keys connects vulnerable families to stable housing. The program specifically targets families involved with children in protective child services who lack secure housing.
The kids are happier, the parents are happier. If they were fighting prior to working with the program, there's less fighting, there's more, because there's just more support.
La Crosse is one of 3 counties statewide selected to pilot Family Keys.
All right, Near seasonal temperatures today. Tomorrow, we have a slight chance of any rainfall trying to get down to the ground as we go through midweek as well. Thursday, we could see a little bit of showers kind of sneaking through, but then again, that's a 20% chance. Better chance coming in for Friday going into Saturday and Sunday with rain and snow on the way. Then we may see that kind of drag out into early Monday morning. Be safe out there and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Art. Today is International Waffle Day. Waffles originated in Sweden in the 1600s. The Belgians later created their signature version, thicker with deeper grids. They get all the credit, don't they? This breakfast, favorite breakfast, became widely popular in the 50s with the introduction of the Eggo. To celebrate, dust off your waffle iron, visit your nearest breakfast stop to have a waffle. That looks really good. That one needed some more syrup on it.
That's pretty good.
Nothing better than some warm syrup in the ridges, or some warm butter in the ridges, you know.
You are killing me right now. That sounds so
syrup,
delicious. Oh, gosh.
The ability to go back to sleep after. That sounds like a perfect day.
All right.
On this International Waffle Day. Well, enjoy it. Thank you for starting it with us. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your Tuesday.